Do you want to be featured on KG School?
KG School.
Hello everyone. So I get a lot of questions about my photos and flat lays. So I thought I'll make a quick short video to help you out on this. Enjoy! So these are the two cards that I was working on and now need to click a photo of this. I am choosing this card to show you and I am taking this to my photo studio, which is actually my bed. My bed is not the most ideal flat surface, but it works for me. If you have a table, that would be better. My bed is more towards my natural light source, hence I use my bed. I use the little Birdie textured Brew 12x12 paper pack, which has all the natural textures. I like keeping the background subtle for my flat lay background so that my card can be the hero of my image. Now, since my card here today has a darker theme, I will use the light background. You can either choose to keep your card parallel or in line with the grids of my flat lay background or at an angle, depending on the look that you're going for. For today, I'm going to show you how to make the look where everything is at right angles. Now the first step that I follow into creating my flat lay is to use the elements from the card as a part of the flat lay. It can be dies that you've used on your card or stamps or ink pads that you have used in the background or markers or maybe sequins. I will be using the I Love You die from Fawn. Since I'm going for the look where everything is at right angles, I am placing my die parallel to my card. I decided to use few of my alcohol markers as well, the ones which I've used to color out my images. So I'm using orange, blue, grey and green, which are the prominent colors of my card. So when I said earlier that I'm doing a right angle degree kind of flat lay, that means most of the elements are either parallel or perpendicular to each other. Now I can see a lot of green and blue going on in this flat lay. So I want to introduce a totally different color altogether so that it creates a pop in my flat lay. So for this, I'm going to fetch my neon pink sequins. There. So I'm going to use these as a part of my flat lay. And this color is not used at all in my card. Okay, rather than sprinkling my sequins randomly, I have arranged my sequins in a diagonal pattern on the background. Okay, now if I observe this arrangement, I feel like this particular corner is a little empty and this particular corner needs something as well. I'm going around to look for random things in my room now. How about magnets? Or some random decorations? I think I will use this one. How about brushes? Okay, let me get this dirty brush because it's blue and I have blue in the card as well. Now is the time when you have to play around with the elements that you have chosen to see what pleases your eye aesthetically. You have to try different permutations and combinations and settle down for something that really pleases you and would really look nice and colorful on the camera as well. Okay, I think I'm happy with the top left corner. For the bottom right corner, I think I'm just going to use the sequins box itself right there and not overthink about this too much. So I think I am happy with what has turned out. Now is the time to click photographs. I'm going to stop making you guys dizzy now and switch to screen sharing mode. I use the grids of my camera to click a super straight photograph because that is the kind of style I like. I don't like too much of crooked and dizzy photos. So here I've clicked a long shot, a close-up shot, a one which is at an angle that shows off all the dimensions of my card, and I'm also going to click one more photo from the other angle to show off the shiny sequins. And lastly, a very tight close-up kind of photo just for highlighting the elements of my card. Now I have my 5 photographs. You can see that due to the natural light, you don't need much editing here. So I'm going to share it in my SnapSeed application. The very first thing that I like to do is increase my brightness so that I can see the true colors of the image. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into tools and do a very rough cropping of this image. Okay, so a rough cropping, and then I'm going to align it a little more using the rotate tool so that all the little crooked lines all become straight. So you can see the application auto aligns it according to my image, and once it is auto aligned, I'm going to do a final cropping. I like my card to be in the center of my image and absolutely equidistant from all the borders, and hence I am kind of being super precise over here. It seems like a slow process, but I invest this time because the long shot is what happens to be the main image of my Instagram post, and that needs to be perfect, right? Okay, once you're happy with the cropping, next I will go into tune image option, and this is for editing the brightness, contrast, etc. of your card. So first I'm going to choose the brightness and increase the brightness. Next, choosing contrast here and increase the contrast as well. After that, I choose shadows and decrease the shadows. This helps you in defining individual elements of my flat lay. Then I will choose highlight and increase the highlight to show the whiter portions of my card to be brighter. As a result of all this editing, the vibrancy of the card has reduced. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the saturation. Remember to not go overboard with the saturation or it won't look natural. I think I'm happy with this now. Next, in tools, I will go and select the brush tool and select saturation from the 4 options. First, I will reduce the saturation to -5 to get that shocking pink color off from the bottom left corner that's hurting my eye. So once I've reduced it, I'm going to actually increase it to 5 and very lightly go on it with my fingertips so that it has a little vibrancy but it doesn't hurt the eye. Next, I'm going to bump my saturation to full, that is value 10, and go ahead and brighten up the accessories like the caps of my alcohol markers, my brush, my blending brush, the dye, maybe the cap of the perfume bottle. I will also highlight the characters, but I will keep it to value 5 so that I don't go overboard. I'm kind of increasing the saturation of the ink blended part and my 2 card characters, maybe the sequins as well. What I love about SnapSeed is you can just go in and zoom into your project and individually highlight whatever part you want to. So that's really amazing. So the only last step remaining for editing is to enter the text, that is the watermark or my Instagram handle name. I like keeping the color of my text in sync with the project, so I'm going to either use maybe green or a dark blue. I always use the same font for my watermark. I don't like changing it, and that's it, we are done. The editing for the rest of the 4 images, I'm going to rush through it. So the second one is going to be a tighter close-up of the card. The third is going to be the angular shot from the left, and the angular shot from the right is the 4th image. And the last image is going to be a tight close-up of my card elements. Now you can see when you open SnapSeed, you also have an option called styles next to tools. So you can go into styles. It basically creates these auto-created filters for your project. So you can probably just settle down with the filter. I sometimes use the filter and work on top of those filters. So play around with the application. It's pretty simple, or you can just follow the steps I followed for starters and then start venturing into the other options. I couldn't recommend enough that clicking projects in natural light is half the editing work done. As you can see over here, I'm hardly doing anything. The natural light is playing all of its games and making it super interesting and colorful and bright. Over here you'll see first I'm going to start with styles as one of the filters. I'm going to use the pop style filter to give me a little basic editing already, and then go ahead and edit a little further on that. And that's it. That is all I do for editing my photos. Here are the before and after photos to show you the subtle difference in the projects, and I hope this really helps. If you do use this method, don't forget to tag me in your projects. I would be happy to check them out. Bye.